Someone wrote it and said, "Hey Reid, I really hope you get a chance to read this and reply. I just found out that my boyfriend has herpes. He's had it like 10 years. We've been together about 6 months having unprotected sex. And in the 6 months, this is the first time he's had an outbreak, and that's why he's telling me about it now. I just saw your video on YouTube. Thanks for that. It really helped to know there's a lot of big stigma around it. It's not as scary as I thought. It gave me a lot of perspective. I feel confused and overwhelmed. I don't know if I should continue with my relationship, and I'm worried about my mental health because of the conflict around this. Thanks for any help you can give."
Great.
This is Reid Mahaka from ReidAboutSex.com.
Cathy from the IntimacyDojo.com. There's great. Adriel runs a website called H Opportunity, Herpes Opportunity. Google it, and we'll try to put the link below. The big thing is the more you learn, generally speaking, you might start to freak out or go into overwhelm, but the more you start to learn about herpes, and we have several videos on herpes, the more you hopefully start to realize, oh, okay, now that I'm making the unknown known, okay, so here's what we're dealing with. And then, a place to start, after you start to get information, medically accurate information, because there's also a lot of shame and misinformation out there. Then always start with, what do I need to feel physically safe? What do I need to feel emotionally safe? Also understand that that's happening for your partners as well. And that you guys may have different needs around those things. And then just take baby steps to start mapping out, what do you need?
One thing I would look at too, he didn't tell you he knew about it. Did you have a safer sex elevator speech? It's at ReidAboutSex.com/elevator. A lot of us don't. A lot of society doesn't. We kind of drift into it and like, oh, I'm sure they're fine because they would have said something, and we all assume. It's really powerful to have that. If you had it and he lied, there's some cleanup to do there. And you get to decide whether you can trust him or not going forward, because it's a boundary violation to not, if you had the conversation and he never told you, he really should have told you before you had unprotected sex. Gary Chapman and Jennifer something, always forget her name, so sorry, Jennifer.
Connelly, maybe? No, that's a movie star.
Yeah. When Sorry Is Not Enough is the book. It has 5 languages of apology. Going through that might be important for you to kind of see if you want to clean that up or move on if he's lied to you in a way that really bothered you that much. And
we don't know that they lied. They just didn't share.
He'd had it for 10 years. He didn't. We don't know if they lied or not. But
yeah,
I would, if someone.
They've been dating for 6 months.
Yeah.
They had unprotected sex.
And he never told her.
Then they never, and we don't know if they had the safer sex conversation.
No, I'm not saying they should break up, but if that's something to consider.
Yeah.
And then maybe go see your doctor and get tested. It takes a little bit to show up in the blood system, so you may have to, I think it's a month for herpes.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks generally, but then a month. 2 weeks for the first outbreak-ish. And then for the antibodies to show up, I think it might be a month.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you can have protected sex depending on where his outbreak is, if that would help.
Yeah, the good news is herpes isn't fatal. There's a lot of stigma attached to it. Some people can have really painful outbreaks frequently. Most people tend to have 3 or 4 outbreaks, and then they kind of fade off, and they show up every once in a while. Not everybody gets really frequent outbreaks. Not everybody gets really painful outbreaks. For those who get frequent and or painful, you drew the short straw on the herpes, really haystack, and that just sucks. And you can use retrovirals and things like that, like Valtrex and whatnot, to try to suppress the outbreaks, which can help for some people. Do some of the research, try some things, talk to your doctors. Understand they may not be experts. That's why H Opportunity is a great website, because they're just geeks over there about that kind of stuff, and they really do practice like not shaming, not stigmatizing. And the tricky part is when your partners, even if you're having protected sex, with partners who you can still risk being exposed just because of the nature of the skin-to-skin contact, and how herpes gets transmitted, and that, condoms and whatnot don't cover everything.
Yeah. We hope this helps. Really sorry you're struggling with this, and know that you can get through this and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and thank you so much for writing in, and thank you all of you who continue to write in and give us a reason to shoot more videos. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're going to go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like, boop.